Recording?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Here we go, party people. We only plan on taking 30 minutes with you, and we're going to try something crazy here. We're going to try to use some technology to see if this works at all. Haley's super scared about this because what it's going to take is actually some of my handwriting. Woo! How crazy is this? Okay.
Oh, see? Can you read any of that?
Wait, they're going to read stuff. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see it okay? Yeah?
See a whiteboard?
Yep. See a whiteboard?
Yep.
Beautiful. Awesome. We'll see how this works. Okay. So when we were out there at convention, right, we got some fantastic training in all different aspects of how to be a more transformational leader. But one that stuck out to me and Haley, I don't know if you remember this, it was about creating a behavioral change. And there was 3 components, right? There was motivation plus action plus a cue equals an actual behavioral change, right? Everyone remember that one? So obviously what we want to get to is how do we become unconscious transformational leaders? And we're going to follow this same format in doing this. And so what we think we've figured out, and we're super interested about your thoughts because you were there, you experienced it, is I know every one of you wants to grow your business. You want to help more people. You want all those dreams to come true that you heard all those people talk about. And it's as simple as doing these 3 things, I think. And so what Haley and I wanted to walk through is how can we apply this immediately? And so here's our thought. Our cue that we want to trigger against is the incentive trip.
ILAT, just the ILAT.
Okay, I should have just put that. What was I supposed to put? ILAT? Okay, I can't, yeah, okay. Incentive trip, and how do we grow senior coaches to EDs, and how do we take EDs to FIBIC? How do we get that change in behavior? Well, we need a cue that's going to do that, and we think this can help for these 2 people. Okay? So does that make sense what our goal is? Incentive trip is our cue to drive senior coaches to EDs and our EDs to FIBIC. Incentive trip's going to be our cue. Okay? We're going to have an every Saturday for 15 minutes, a quick meeting on the action. This is where we're talking about structure. I think, I don't know if Melissa is on this call. I know Jenny said the same thing. I know Steph said the same thing, is I need structure. I need to have better structure in my business to help me grow the way I need to grow. So as Haley and I researched other teams that are growing senior coaches to ED and EDs to FIBIC, they're doing this action. And this is what they're asking their team to do. So we're going to outline the action. So here it is. It's labeled as a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So Haley, the 2. What are the 2 things that they need to do per day?
So this is 2 quality Facebook posts per day. Healthy wins, non-scale victories, recipes, health tips. And we're going to go through this, but we're going to post this so you can refer back to it. Right. You can take some notes, but I'll have this all typed out for you. Posting about yourself takes precedence over posting about someone else any day. I think a lot of us get used to posting other transformations, but I think a lot of times people need to see you and that your current transformation. I mean, a lot of us have been coaches for a year or more, and you maybe posted your first transformation when you post, for the first time. Come back to that. Say how you've been able to maintain, how your transformation has kind of continued, that you didn't just stop at your healthy weight, that we continue to move our health forward. Obviously, still find ways to post about other transformations, fun things about you, things that you love, travel, a live video, that would count. This is anything you want to be known for that people already know you for, basically. But the one thing I love about the live video, and Sharice did this today, which I thought was awesome, is she posted about how her desire to help people came from her original job of being a nurse. And how she became a coach. Well, she quit her job because she wanted to be home with her family more, and but she still had that heart to help people, and she was able to find that through coaching, and then have be able to have the time freedom of working from home, but still being able to help people. So I thought that was a really awesome way to kind of capitalize on something that was on her heart about why she became a coach, and that she was kind of able to use that in a job that kind of was super structured, and then still do something she loved. So those Facebook Live videos can be things as simple as that, sharing things that are on your heart. Another idea that a coach had was to just get the Habits of Health book and share something from there. I mean, write down some key points. You don't have to come up with stuff on your own. Talk about the 9-inch plate, why we use a 9-inch plate, how to portion out a 9-inch plate, things that are just relatable, things that add value. The 3 things they say to remember are that they're going to educate, inspire, and entertain. Those 3 things, when you post, think about those 3 things: entertain, educate, and inspire.
Beautiful. That's the 2. So 2 Facebook posts per day. Now the 4 Facebook stories.
Who knows how to do a Facebook story? Put your hand up. I can see most people in the video, but if you don't know how to do a Facebook story, then let's do a training on that. I know there's some coaches that are like nailing the Facebook stories. I'm just learning, and I've been experimenting, and it's kind of fun. But Facebook stories are an awesome way. So 4 Facebook stories a day. That means when you click on a story and it goes through 4 different things, that's what 4 means. So you're adding 4 different posts within your story that people would click through. Anything works here. Quotes, family fun, anything you'd post about on Facebook. You can post a lot more here. And I would suggest 1 before and after photo in your stories daily.
She hasn't responded yet.
And a 4 is just a minimum, but feel free to do more. But it's a 4 on that.
Okay, 4 Facebook stories. Sorry, Haley's gonna cancel out Sarah. All right, 6 likes.
Oh, hold on, I'm muting her. Okay, 6 likes on other people's posts. So not health coaches, obviously. These are people on your list. Okay, do you know what the list is? So part of this is I want you to make your 100 list. We've all heard about the 100 list, but this is just people who you've worked with, people in your neighborhood, people in your old neighborhood, people you grew up with, you went to high school with, people you see at the gym, people at the grocery store, your 100th list, okay? Just go through all of those things and make a 100s list. That makes it really easy when you go on Facebook to not, play squirrel like I always do. I'm like, wait a minute, what did I get on for? It can help you go through that 100s list and do 6 likes on other people's posts. So you can just go through and do your 100s list and like other people's posts, okay? This helps the magic of the Facebook algorithms, okay? So there's a reason for these things, but that's 6 likes on other people's posts.
Awesome. We then want 8 comments.
So again, same as above, not health coaches. Go to your 100s list, comment on another person's post.
And I love the thing about Jamil, what he shared, the Ford, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, right? Be interested in them, get them, right? That's what we're talking about on those comments. Is like, so good to see you, so good that you posted this. Love that, right? Those are the type of comments, and again, from your 100th list, not other coaches.
Okay, And then the 10 conversations in Messenger or text. Now, when we go through these 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I know when I read through them, I was like, oh, that's easy. That's easy. 10 conversations. Like, okay, that's a lot. Okay, you guys, this webinar, today's thing, we are going all in, okay? If you will follow the process and be consistent in following this process, your business will grow. It will grow a lot. It might not grow tomorrow if you do this for 2 days and you're like, I'm getting nothing. This isn't working. But I promise if you are consistent in this every day, okay, we're going to challenge you to do it for 90 days. This is a 90-day thing we're going to do for 3 months, and we're going to have that Saturday 15-minute call. We're going to do that for 3 months. And I promise you, if you want to be on that trip, if you want to grow your business, this simple process is going to make the biggest wave. And so 10 conversations in Messenger or text. So that can be just reaching out to an old friend and being like, hey, I've been thinking of you. How's your cute family? That counts, okay? Or in Messenger, you can say, happy birthday, or you doing anything fun today? That counts, okay? So 10 conversations, don't make it too crazy. Again, we're not going to people and saying, hey, do you want to learn about my health program? Okay, that's not what we're doing. We're creating relationships, right? That is the key. Is we are creating relationships, because when people like you and they know you and they trust you, those are the people that become your clients and your coaches. So that's part of this process, is that we're not trying to just get people. We are trying to get people. We're trying to understand where they're at.
Yeah. On this action step, as you can see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If you don't block out time to do this in your day, so your cue needs to be you actually schedule this as part of your day. What time of the day? And it can vary any part of your time, but is it from 7 to 9 a.m.? Is it from 9 to 11 p.m.? This has to be scheduled. Schedule out, my suggestion would be schedule out 2 hours, okay? And if you can get it done in less than 2 hours, fantastic. But block out more time than what you think you're gonna need. And once you get into the habit, now you know how much time it's actually gonna take. But it has to be a blocked off time. As they talked at convention, right? And they talked about the compass. Hey, we have convention in July, we have incentive trip in April, we have leadership training in October. Those are just dates that you live by and you know you're always gonna attend. This is the same thing in the action. If you do this over 90 days, you get to the point where you've made a behavioral change, and now this is just something you do every day. It's your structure that you've been asking for. It's the structure you know you need to work on your business, and it's as simple as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, okay? The motivation component, where we want everyone to spend time, and you can decide on your time here, is getting into your coach's guide that everybody received at convention, and then also in your transformation book, Your Life book, right? You should be spending time in there, because out of these two things keeps you motivated of your bigger mission of what you're trying to do, but it also enables you to have information for your stories, your posts, your conversations, comments, all of this, because you're built your knowledge here with your motivation. So let us tell you how the Saturday meeting is going to run. Our first Saturday meeting is going to be this Saturday at 10 a.m. It's going to be for 30 minutes the first time, okay? We're going to provide you with a text that you can send to all your coaches, and you can modify it, send your own, whatever. But it's basically saying, hey, at convention they announced the new incentive trip. It sounds amazing. If you want to be part of this, we're going to have a group that meets every Saturday for 15 minutes. Our first meeting will be 30. After that, it'll just be 15 minutes. And we're going to outline how we're going to get there. And what will take place is after this first initial meeting on Saturday, where we'll review what we just did for you with all the coaches, we're going to put them into a Facebook group that we have for all those that want to join. And we'll put different ideas that people have here, here, wins, things that are going well, that's where we'll all encourage each other, put in different information in there so people get excited about it. If they have questions, that's where it's going to be. But the next Saturday when we hold this 15-minute meeting, here's exactly how it's going to run. I guarantee you we will start on time at 10 a.m. and we will end at 10:15 a.m. I promise you we will do it. We're going to start out and we're going to say, okay, in the chat window, if you were able to complete your action and you did it every day, put a 1 in the window. If you were only able to do this half the time last week, put a 2 in the window. And if you did it at least once, put a 3 in the window. Just like when you started Optavia, you weighed in every week. This is going to be your weigh-in. This will be your accountability. Did you do this every day? Or did you do it 50%? Or did you just do it once? We just want an action to be set up. And again, our cue is the incentive trip long-term, but every Saturday for 15 minutes, check in, and then we're going to have someone on our team say, hey, let me tell you about a success I had in my Facebook post. Oh, let me share a story that I did. I got a lot of attention out of this. We'll share a quick best practice, check in on how you did in your action, and we're off the phone call. 15 quick minutes with, again, the main driver is, did you do your 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? And here's some examples of some good things that happened or some success stories. That's the whole purpose of the Saturday meeting from 10 to 10:15 is that's your check-in. Does that make sense? Excited? Look good?
One thing I want to mention with the ILAT qualifications. So if you have a team and you have coaches and you're wondering how to help your coaches, for sure, like the Q is the incentive trip. But if we only focus on what the qualifications are and then don't really have an action after it, sometimes we just keep doing what we're doing and we don't really see growth. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh crap, I have to qualify for 2 months in a row and in December. So this is really a way to start the consistency as you go, because the small things add up to the big things. Like, let's start now, and this is not going to be an issue.
Yep.
But to be able to walk through and know how to support and let your coaches know, this form will put in the Facebook group. So you can get this, and then if you don't know how to predict where you're at or where your coaches are, reach out to your mentor above you, and they can help you navigate exactly what this means. It's pretty basic, and I know that they're going to do some team trainings on this specifically, but for sure, part of the process is this is just a cue, but you do the structure and you do the process, and this is going to come to fruition as well as growing your business. It's kind of like,
and that's the goal, is we get them in this for 90 days doing this action, results will happen, and now it just becomes a habit. Every day I know what I do from 7 to 9 a.m. It's just what I do every day because I've been doing it for 90 days. I have made a behavioral change that's just not going to get me on this incentive trip, but I got to a peak, and I saw a peak of something better, right? The peak to peak. This is what the main purpose is, whether it's for you individually, where you're like, holy cow, doing this for 90 days, this changed my business. Even if it's just that peak you get to, and then you see a peak of now what's available to you. But our main goal is getting senior coaches and EDs to FIVIC is so they see that peak to peak. So everybody starts advancing up. Everybody starts moving to another peak. This is the main purpose out of everything. We are trying to get this action where that's just what I do every day. And these are our cues, the Saturday and the incentive trip. But this is thinking way past the incentive trip. It's all of a sudden, this is just who I am. This is what I do every day. And now it's just become habit. And now people get excited. They have this motivation to keep doing the change because they actually see what it delivers.
So I want to just reiterate the motivation factor. One thing that I think we tend to quit doing when we start doing a lot of action and process is we stop doing our own personal development. And I've seen it before. And what happens is you lose the authenticity. You lose the ability to share what's changed in you and help other people do it. So I would say, the processes are important, but don't stop doing developing your own self, because you can't develop others unless you develop yourself. So that is one thing that tends to slip, right? We tend to stop doing the things that are most important to us when our life gets crazy. So keep that in place. Get your life book. We've been doing it. It's so valuable. And like he said, you're going to get your ideas and you're going to get your knowledge based off of this. When you transform yourself, you just can't help but live authentically and share with your heart. So if you struggle with the process, make sure that personal development piece is in place.
Beautiful. We got 5 minutes. We want to make sure we end on time. 8 to 8:30 is what we promised, Mountain Time. Any questions that you have in what we discussed?
I just have one question. So you said that we're going to invite our coaches to this for Saturday, correct?
Right.
And you guys are going to provide in that Facebook group like a generic text to reach out to them?
Mm-hmm. And again, feel free to change that however you'd like to, right? If you don't like the word, you make it you. But yeah, we'll send that out to you right after. Also, Haley and or Haley, I should say, I'm not going to take credit for her. She's going to send out an email invite through Optavia itself?
Yeah, just through Share to all of my downline coaches. So it'll send to every coach on our team. And
Haley will send that to all your coaches. We want both communications. We want them to get something from you, get something from us saying, hey, we want you to be part of this incentive trip. That's what we're going to highlight is the incentive trip, because again, that's probably going to get them to have some motivation to join the call. And as they start to see this and outline this is what we're hoping that they'll get excited about and say, yeah, I'll put the work in for this. That will be the initial motivation. But as we all know, the goal is give a peak to peak, right? That's what we're trying to accomplish. So you'll see it highlight the incentive trip. That's not our main purpose. It's just the motivation to get them to say, hey, I want to start participating.
So, and I don't mean to hog, but I just think that this is awesome that you are talking about this action plan, because Haley, you told me that like we need to kind of figure out what we can get rid of and what we can focus on, because I think a lot of times we spin our wheels and we're doing a lot of stuff. Maybe that's not presenting really good results because we're not doing the right actions. So like, this is golden, honestly. Like, I think it's easy now. It's like, okay, this is my to-do, and then fit in the personal growth, and voila.
Voila.
Voila. The other thing that we're going to mention on the call is when you do this over time, it might be your first doing this in one day. You might get someone to respond and say, hey, I'm ready. It might be in 2 weeks. If you haven't done a health assessment in a while, please reach out to your mentor to have them help you on that first health assessment. So if you're feeling a little rusty on it too, that's okay. Bring Haley in, right? We'll bring in someone in to help you. But let's also remember that training that we received, the first 1 or 2 health assessments that your coaches are going to do. Join them for that. Help them do that. So they get that immediate success and like, oh, okay, this is awesome. This is not only did I get someone to say they're interested, but I actually got them to say, yes, I want to participate in this. So that is something we'll mention in that call on Saturday is, hey, and if you haven't done a health assessment in a while, get your mentor on the phone. They'll help you with the first or 2 of them just to make sure we're feeling comfortable with that. So just to be aware, we're going to mention that to them, that they should be interacting with you more as they have these initial health assessment calls.
So kind of just to lay out everything to, just outline it a little bit. We'll have a Facebook page. It'll be called Super Saturday. Why not? Super Saturday. And I will invite all of you on to this page. And so tomorrow I'll create the Facebook page. We'll have the email sent out and the text that you can send to all of your coaches. I'll put that in the messenger thread so you can copy that and send it out. I'll have you send that out after the email is sent out so you can refer to that and then add them to the Facebook page. So that'll be kind of our dumping ground a little bit for some of these things that we're mentioning. So the 246-810. Everything that we went through will be in there, as well as the ILAT trip qualifications, and a reminder of, making your hundreds list. Just some things there. If you ever have wins or ideas or comments or anything,
Cool post you used, a
Put it
good
in
idea,
there.
put it in there. Let's keep the momentum going in there, and put something in there that, yeah, hey, this is something I just recently did. Here's a recipe I love, right? Different things like that. Let's keep people's creative ideas flowing. We'll also post in there. We got a couple ideas we'll share with you at a later time of some unique webinars we want to do, and we'll keep you posted on that. Coach Explores. That we think will be creative and might get some more attraction of other coaches or clients that want to coach. So we'll give you more details around that. We're going to do some things to actually help you in creating some posts and some different things like that also.
Sound good? Don't you think it would be amazing if everyone who decides to join this, we all get on that ILAT trip? I think that would be incredible. I know that this process works, and that it's just a matter of doing the do and doing those small things. They really do add up. And I think just keeping focused on, a structure and trying to make sure that we're feeling not overwhelmed necessarily, but creating a plan and a structure that works, and that we can move forward and really see some growth personally and in our business. I think that's what it's all about, helping more people. So.
Awesome. Last little thing, because we're right at 8:30. Last little thing. I like to call these stress tests. So it tests me on where I'm actually at, right? It's like a thermometer I put in my mouth that tells me, well, who does that anymore? But in my ear, it actually tells me, do I have a fever or I don't have a fever, right? Here's the thing that I would stress test on you. As you look at this list of action, do you see this as a problem? How am I going to do this? How am I going to fit this in my day? Or do you see this as a solution? A growth mindset says, I see my opportunity. I see how this is going to help me, and I'm going to choose my time. A fixed mindset says, this seems overwhelming. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't even know if I'm going to try. Think about that as a stress test. As you look at this, what you actually want, what's your big why, what's your dream, what are the things you actually want to accomplish? If you will not negotiate with yourself, I love saying it that way, don't self-negotiate. Don't talk yourself out of this. Try it for just 7 days and see what happens. And then go another 7 days, right? Take the action, test yourself to say, hey, what I just learned at convention, I'm going to actually put into action. I'm going to have that growth mindset that everybody talked about. That's what we want to have happen. So thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate you.
Love you guys.
Ohana love.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
See ya.